your mangy dogs. Swab the decks and hoist the sails. The guns on board be needing some proper manning. Pieces of 8 and a fine wench on your arm. If your work be not too shoddy. Be careful not to flounder too badly, though, or you may have to dance the hempen jig as we see you to Davy Jones. Jeffy, my boy, on with the show.
Welcome, everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to our latest weekly edition of Pirate Radio Podcasts. It's episode number 353. Coley Weber has finally managed to make it, so we're happy to have this, be the case. Obviously, SNX, not to be confused with SEX. SNX Radio's Coley Weber. So more on her in just a moment. Let me first remind you, of course, I myself, as always, your trusted host and companion, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website we will direct your attention to. Sign up is free. Liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit notification and share buttons, always very helpful, along with sending word along to friends, family, and co-workers. Be sure as well to take a look at the show description end of things. Got a lot of great information packed into that area, that part of our weekly feature show presentation. Patreon, PayPal, of course, Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. The email, very helpful as well if you have any show suggestions or guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us. So with all that out of the way now, I think we can take a look and give you a bit of a rundown as to who our featured guest is for this special weekly presentation. SNX Radio's Coley Weber, a conscious UFO ET contact experiencer, paranormal medium, public speaker, researcher, and host of Iowa's SNX Radio. Raised in the Midwest, Coley's abilities range from seeing auras and communication with spirit realm to manifesting both prophetic, life, and death detection dreams. Finally, in addition to her work with SNX Radio, she investigates government secrecy and reports on alternative news. Great to have both you and Sonia on board for this show this week. Coley, you finally managed to make it after all the snafus and technical snags. Looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
If she can find the button that she...
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know if it was my turn to come on after all that.
Yeah. Somebody's
Hey,
turn.
Coley.
Hey, Sonia. Hey, girl. Oh, my gosh.
Welcome
thank you
on.
so much. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Finally.
I made it on.
You made it. Yeah, we went through so much. That's crazy.
Last time, it was
Awesome.
about a month ago now that, we tried to have you drop by and actually, I guess, what was it there? It was really quite bizarre. It was technical issues and just couldn't quite make it all come
It
together.
shut down my whole sound system. I was on for like 20 minutes early for once, and I was there. So right when I went
For
to
once,
get on,
that's
I
what
was-
happened. You were early. You can never be early. Always
I'll
got
tell
to
you-
be a little bit late.
I'll tell you one thing, and Sonia
my
and I were sort of touching on us during the pre-show end of things, that not regarding you, just generally speaking, how once is a mistake, twice a coincidence, and the third time leads me, I know, definitely to start really wondering what the hell's going on. And what we find over on Facebook right now is they've taken all of the entire show the promo blurb that we have up there in support of this week's feature stream, it's gone off the timeline. You can still find the link, and we sent that to you privately through the messenger. But that's, if you don't have the Facebook link sent to you personally, then you're not. Chances are you're not going to find it. So that's a bit of a
Right.
head scratcher, that one. Okay, Sonia. Now it's all because of you, really, that we have Coley here.
Yes, it is.
You're the headhunter.
Because I found her.
You're the
I
talent
found
scout.
her on
Yeah.
Jeff Mara's podcast is where I first heard you, Coley. And I was like blown away. I'm like, oh my God, we've got to get that girl on the show. And you just talked about so much stuff on that show, like all kinds of stuff. It was just really very interesting. So I'm gonna say, I mean, Jeffy, unless you have any burning questions, I just kind of was gonna let you kind of go where you think the ethers are telling you, or whatever you kind of want to talk about, I guess. What's going on in the world, I mean, not politics, no.
No.
But,
We don't want to wreck the show
yeah,
right now.
no, of course, no. But I've got a few
You don't even know.
questions. I got a few talking points, a few items I'd like to
okay,
hit on.
great.
Not necessarily right now, but
Okay.
let's just have allow Coley to have at it as far as introducing new listeners to her and her backstory, how she found herself coming to realize that she had these gifts, as it were, at the tender age of around 4, I guess, is what we're told here. So
hmm
That's what I first remember anyway. But I
Mhm.
always grew up with the paranormal. So I grew up seeing spirits. That was normal to me in my world. So it did freak my family out quite a bit. My mother, I went to a private Catholic school once I got a little bit older, but it just really wasn't that popular back then. I'm not going to completely age myself, but it wasn't a thing of, I mean, the internet, and I just got off a show, so we were kind of talking about all of this, it's like the pre, like Google, the pre, all of that. And so I grew up and, my mom just wanted to call the priest and maybe do an exorcist once in a while. But, for the most, yeah, it was that insane. And I was like, man, it come to find out, it comes from her side of the family. But it just, back then, so I kind of grew up like, oh yeah, I had this dream, so I was giving these messages on to people, but that's not really how it was. It was like, I'd have different spirits. So then I learned when right around, I would say about 13, 14, it really like upped the ante. So I had to go and I learned from like a local medium too. My aunt took me, her name was Catherine, and Catherine taught me how to kind of control some of it because it was so intrusive. I'd have it coming all the time and they'd want me to give messages. They'd want me to give, sometimes like Christmas presents. I mean, it was that
Wow.
intense.
Is
Yeah. So,
Coley,
but that was normal.
isn't that well? It is pretty normal, and definitely, and in a sense that up in the ante, isn't that where cousins come from?
Like,
Nieces and
we're not that
nephews,
kind of family.
nieces and
No,
nephews
I'm just
too.
joking.
Anytime
Yeah,
you're
no.
up in the ante, you're bound to be producing a few cousins along the way.
Y Yeah,
That
when
just
they
went.
I
I
know it's
love it. I love it.
Iowa,
That
but
went totally over your. Some of our
yeah, I
listeners
don't know.
probably
I'm
picked up on.
trying to grasp this one,
Yeah.
Jack. I really am.
Me too.
I'm
I
like
don't know.
reaching at
Sorry,
straws
that's
here.
one of my dad's bad jokes. Blame the father,
Oh, it's
not
a
me.
dad joke.
That's a dad
Oh,
joke.
lovely.
All right.
Usually I like
All
those.
right. Yeah. Okay. Moving
I
along.
I didn't know if it was because of Iowa and, I don't know, if, like, cousins, brother, I don't know,
I
like,
love
that kind of thing. We're
Iowa.
just not
I
that type
love
of a
Iowa.
family.
No. I'm no. Every you gotta. We're all if antes weren't upped, where would we all be? You got to up the ante.
Oh,
If
I get it.
oh,
I get it. Up the ante. I gotcha.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
you're
wah,
Yeah.
wah,
you're up.
wah.
Yeah.
You're not down with the
Right.
joke. The up the ante
No, I get
joke.
it
No,
now.
no,
I
no.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha
Moving
ha
along.
ha.
Yeah. Next.
Well, thank you though. I would have been up scratching my head for quite a while on that
Ah. Oh God.
one.
Okay. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, and so in the family, and this maybe to some extent, some degree, ties into and relates to why you find yourself an experiencer as well. At least starting in 2017, but maybe we shouldn't
Right.
get into that right now. Uh, age of 4, mom wants to exercise little Coley. She's having visions and little imaginary friends, perhaps, or dreams, very powerful dreams, of course. What more can you? How can you further just fleshing things out there for us?
Oh yeah, no, it was crazy because I didn't really have a name for it. And I remember once I went to Catherine and she's like, "Oh yeah, do you see Ramoose?" And then I don't like the channeling part of it. I try and stay that kind of arm's length away. I don't really want to relinquish my control to speak and have somebody else do that for me by any stretch of your imagination, but that is along the same line. So I grew up, just kind of, I just altered my little technique a little bit. Yeah, because mom did definitely want to call that priest a couple times. And so I just think they were really freaked out by it. I remember one time we were at my grandma's, and this is my dad's mom, and their side of the family was a little bit different, but they didn't have the ability to see. But we're sitting out at the kitchen counter, and all of a sudden you hear this bang, bang, bang. And my dad had fallen asleep back in his old bedroom as a kid. And then we're like, what's going on? Well, he saw something that, like a spirit or ghost or whatever, which would have been normal the rest of us. And he grabbed his shoes and he was whomping them at that, closet door. And my grandma was more worried he was going to break something at the time. But, so I think that fear right there really generated a lot of their responses. I couldn't imagine either. I've got a kiddo, and if I hadn't experienced what I'd experienced, I'd probably be a little freaked out too if he was telling me that, dead relatives were coming, or, things like that. And that's a good question or a good point. Like when you're coming into this, how you were talking. And yeah, I do get those, like the death dreams, or I can detect birth when that's happening. And I never know exactly who the person is going to be, but I do know it's within a 30-day cycle that it's going to happen. And I know how close that they feel to me in the dream, but I can never say, "Oh yeah, that's so and so." Like I remember, for instance, like when my best buddy and Bryce and my grandmother had passed away, it was the same day within hours apart. And I had the dream that I knew two people were going to pass. And my grandmother, I wasn't as close to that grandmother that I was to maybe
Maybe we
others,
shouldn't get into that
but
right
I
now.
did know that there were going to be two people. So, and that's a good question
Hang on a
or a
second
good
here while we get Facebook under control. We got some technical matters taken care of behind the
see, everywhere
Right.
I
scenes.
go, this happens.
No, it's fine. It's these bush.
Everywhere I go,
It's
this is what follows.
no. It's this the bush league
It's
I never know exactly.
technical abilities that
Ah.
we've got here. That's working every day, upping our game. So, but
Yeah.
the debt now. How then do these death dreams? And there's a flip side to the coin as well, too, I guess. But how they manifest? Let me ask you this: does water have anything to do with this? And I've got. There's a reason I'm asking this. And submerged underwater,
Good
people
question.
kind of almost like maybe not quite drowning, but submerged. They're still alive. Get the feeling of that, but
Like a
underwater.
float tank kind of thing
Yeah,
is what you're
yeah,
saying?
or bathtub or something, and yeah, anything like
Right.
as one example. What are your thoughts there, Coley? And what is the flip side?
So, can you explain that a little bit more?
Well,
So
this is
if
something. Actually, this is a reoccurring dream I've been having the
Oh, you're
past.
talking about like how it comes in the dream, right?
Yeah,
Like as
the
like
imagery
them
and the
catching a fish
feeling.
and
Well,
okay.
or bodies, just people like they're kind of just almost in a sleep-like state underwater. You walk in on them, and
Mm.
that's where they are doing their thing. So I just out of the blue, I just thought I'd bounce it off you. I don't know.
There's a lot of I was a therapist for
Uh
7
huh.
years too, and I did a lot with Carl Jung and, like the whole transpersonal psychology and the dream aspect of it. Now, I was always told that, and this kinda always weirded me out a little bit, they said, "Never catch a fish." Like, I guess that insinuates, like, death will happen, but that's not necessarily the way that I experience it. I know that it's kind of during when it's happening that this is not gonna end well for somebody, or they're gonna be in that transitional of crossing. So I can tell that, like, and I also knew, when somebody's going to have birth, like, uh, I can detect even before my sister even told anybody or even any of us, I knew that she was pregnant. And I said, yeah, and that seems to be a bit outside of the month marker, like, where it was, like, before she told people, so I can't really gauge that, but, yeah, that's fascinating that you say that. I'm gonna have to think back because it's usually, like, these scenarios where I'll meet somebody in my dream, I know them, I know how close I feel to them, and it's not necessarily what's happening in the dream that I detect, I just it's that feeling. Then I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
crap, somebody's going," like, who is it gonna be? And I remember, for instance, my son's father, he passed away when my son was 18 months, and this is going way back, so you don't have to be apologized for it or whatever. But I knew to the point of where I remember calling my aunt, and I was like, "Somebody is going to die, this isn't even funny." And it was somebody who felt
Wow.
so close to me, and I thought it was my grandfather. It made sense. He had a stroke going back, and I was like, oh man, so I was putting up to like 3 days before, I was putting pictures of him together, and my aunt, I just remember saying, "Sometimes it's who you least expect." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, was she ever right?"
Right.
Wow. Yeah, right, talk about, and it just it flip-flops everything in the world. So yeah, so it is interesting. It's not, I mean, I don't necessarily, I'd rather have the birth dreams all day long than I would necessarily that, but it's a part of life, I guess you have to deal with too. So yeah,
Right.
no, that's fascinating. That's a great question. That is. I'll have to pay like closer attention to it. But I guess I get so when it happens, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Brace yourself. Like
Yeah.
that's more where I'm going with stuff. But yeah. Ugh. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always somebody, and I like I said, I don't know. And it's weird. Like the other day, my son's mom had passed. I was like, oh gosh, this makes so much sense. I was just coming across stuff of hers, and I knew, but I did not know who it was going to be. So
I'm
Mm.
sorry. Did
that
you
part of
say?
it.
Wait a minute. You mean your friend's son, or your
Oh
son's
yeah, yeah,
friend?
yeah. Friends, this is what I said. Don't even tell me what I said. But my son's
That would be
friend's mom.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Right.
not
Right.
me. No.
Yeah. I
Unless
no.
that would have maybe
You'll hear it
explain a
in the
little bit more.
playback. It would mean that you'd actually died. It's,
Lord.
my son's mother died. It's like okay.
Yeah. Oh, Lord,
So
help me. Yep,
Ah,
that would be me. No, but
that's
it's not, it was not.
it wasn't. Okay,
it-
cool. Right,
we're
right. That's
Right,
funny.
I'm still here. But,
Yeah,
hey, Jeffrey, might explain a little bit of the whole technical thing, and Facebook wiping
maybe.
it down, but yeah, no, unfortunately, yeah,
yeah.
I'm just gonna
Uh,
stop right there.
hijinks, snafu. We've got a pretty decent
That's good stuff.
number of people that have, along with lurkers, as always, that are gathered here via the live stream. Zap Zap, along with Sonia, of course. Zap Zap, we've seen them around in the past, so have at it, Zap Zap.
Oh,
Let's hear
hey,
your.
Zep, I just saw you at the live stream, yeah, just a few hours ago, so
Oh,
welcome,
okay. And,
welcome.
and that's something we like to talk about. That was with Brian. That was the whole Montauk, uh, basically mystery, essentially. And we're looking forward to. And it was a great interview and conversation. Really, the one thing I wanted to ask you was actually the Aleister Crowley, 1919 business, which, from what you said during the conversation with Brian, is that that was the first you'd ever heard of it, that he'd actually been to Montauk, and that he felt it was, I think, according to Brian, what Crowley had said, it was his favorite whole spot in the
Yeah.
world, and you can kind of read between the lines of that one, I suppose. That who knows what he was up to. Are you a practitioner of any, like, you don't do Wicca or anything like that, do you?
No, gosh,
No,
no,
no.
no, no, but I did accidentally get an Aleister Crowley tattoo, if we're being honest here, so
Oh,
Accidentally? How does that
yeah.
happen? I
accident,
do tattoos and I've never accidentally
Oh.
tattooed someone. Well, maybe
accidentally.
those small penises at times, but that's just for fun.
Right.
But
Well, I
Sight
can't
of it.
even believe I just own this, where I feel like, no,
Wow.
I got something, it's on my wrist, so we'll just go from there. And when I looked up, it said, by the power of truth in this universe, I have conquered. So I thought, well, that's really powerful. That's really cool. And so and then I got it, and I think that I don't know exactly. I don't want to do and make sure and really confirm that it was for his,
Yeah.
but I think it might be. So
I'm so,
Lovely. Those are great types of tattoos.
wait a minute. I mean, to confirm that it was his what exactly tattoo?
It's from him.
no,
His
yeah,
quote, the
that
quote
might be.
Yes.
in Latin.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. What? Yes. You got some secret power here, because I was
Ah,
never even going to admit this out loud. But then when I heard that earlier, that's why it really stopped me. I was like, oh wow, Brian, I didn't hear that before. But and I'm thinking, I'll cover that tattoo on your wrist,
well,
because I can hear the comments just flowing on that one.
Well,
oh,
I mean, if you didn't know, then it's not even like that,
No,
So,
well, yeah, I know, and
you know.
it's like, oh, phew.
well,
So if
Yeah.
you're going to get a tattoo and you think something sounds really cool, and just don't go from there like you need a tattoo like
Verify
I
it.
was. Yes,
Yeah. It's like
verify it.
having kanji that you don't research.
I
Like
know.
those oriental symbols that mean something completely different.
oh
Oh,
God,
I
yeah,
know. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
so brutal. It's so
It is
brutal on
brutal.
this one. And I'm the
Yeah.
one too. Do your research. Do your
I
research.
know,
But
right. How ironic.
How old were you when
yeah.
you did this? That's, I
Uh,
guess the.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say 3 months ago.
Oh
3
God.
months ago.
wow, really?
Yeah, and I really
It's very
wanted, this
new.
is the problem. I really wanted to get that sleeve, completed. And so I was there, and my tattoos guy's like, "Oh, I might have time to do one more." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm flipping through, and I was like,
That
"This one
you
right here,
don't
this sounds
research.
great."
I
Like
know.
those
No, I
oriental
didn't do it.
symbols that
Nope.
mean.
So how many tattoos do you have altogether now?
Oh, I lost track. But I mean, I've got it, so hopefully it blends in. So I don't know if you can see, but there, it's all the way up my sleeve. But
Ha-
yeah,
ha-
and yeah, that just happens to be the one that really sticks out. And I was like, okay, so really coming to terms that I may have done something that's stupid, and I think I did. So I really
we'll
do.
get you on camera. Can you share with us? I mean, go ahead. It's
Oh,
oh, here we go.
here's the shame piece. Here's the shame piece. Yep. So we're gonna show it right here. So
Wow.
Oh,
we
wow.
got, yeah, it goes all around my wrist, just in case I try and forget that it's there. I can look down every time and I can see
Right.
it's there.
Exactly.
Yep,
Oh,
Exactly.
it's all
quite
there.
well. What other care to discuss any of the other tattoos you have? Sonia, as you may know, like she had her own
I'm
business.
looking. Yeah, that girl, I
Yeah.
love her. She's got like her. Oh, maybe I can talk
Yeah.
to her about covering this one up or
Yeah.
something.
I specialize in covers. That
Hey,
already crossed my mind there when I
r-
come up to Iowa. Yeah.
here's a question: tattoo addiction. When is
It's
enough enough?
ink therapy.
When is
Never
enough
enough.
enough? So well,
Never.
uh
Yeah.
oh,
I don't.
uh
I don't
oh,
think there isn't enough.
oh boy. So
Mm-mm.
No.
well, so then we can the two of you potentially we can foreseeably see.
Tattooing on camera,
No,
absolutely.
well
Yes.
Let's do a
Yes.
podcast on
but
it
your entire
for
body, your
sure.
face and everything. Would you ever do your
We could.
face?
No, I don't think. Well, Sonia, I don't know.
I
Do you have any
wouldn't
good
mind
ideas?
doing something like tiny right here, or maybe
Oh,
just something
Just kind of
oh.
little,
working your way there, but
literally
it's
Just
not.
something.
just
Yeah.
Well,
starts
I
with
already kind of
something
got it on
tiny.
my face anyway. It felt like it was on my face when we were tattooing my sides. It totally felt like it was on my face. I need to actually get something down here. Anyway, that's
Oh, I
probably not
love
the,
it. Yeah,
the
she's
best
got a
topic.
great artwork going
Oh,
on over there.
oh,
I'm
thanks.
jealous. Jealous.
Thanks.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
start though. I call it ink
mhm.
therapy. That's what I
It
prefer to
is.
call it.
It is.
Oh,
Absolutely. It's therapy.
all right. So,
Yeah.
had no idea about the tattoos, but now the UFO
I'm just feeling it
experiencing
out.
is something that you. I mean, there's so many different places we could take the conversation. Obviously, and Sonia's got her own ideas, and I'm sure we'll have more comments and insights coming our way via the Peanut Gallery, a Boundless Authenticity podcast. This is
Oh,
someone.
hey. Yeah,
Yes.
he's great. I
Bam.
was just on his
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's right. So
So cool.
who is that character? We should know who, because he's been by here. He's dropped by a couple times now, hasn't he, Sonia? What?
Yes, well, because Chris was on his show, Coley, and
Right.
everybody.
Oh,
So I
right,
just kind of
right,
invited. We started talking, and I'm like, "Hey, come and check it out."
right,
So we're
right,
supporting each other,
right. There we go.
for a
And
second.
that's what
Yeah,
it's all about, definitely. So the
yeah,
cross
exactly, exactly.
pollination.
Yeah.
Now, and oh bloody hell! I just had a seniors moment here. There was something I was going to bounce off of the two of you as far as uh, well, the UFO contactee experiencer business, kind of jumping around a little bit here, obviously, but because that was 2017, which would be about 8 years ago. Doing the simple math, of course. Let's tell us how it all unfolded. What happened exactly? Where was it? And
Yeah, no, I was out in a place in Iowa. It's called Bernard. It's in Bernard. It's between Bernard and Cascade, Iowa, if you're looking it up. There's a place called St. Patrick's Church that's right in the middle there, in the middle of nowhere. So it was this like creepy church, and I had moved there. And so my neighbor, I was like, we need to go and explore. And I found this really cool area in the cemetery, and it went back to like the Civil War era. So I was like, I was there taking paranormal pictures. So when we were looking, it was like off on the horizon, and where you're standing is kind of up on a hill. So I was there, and like I said, I didn't have my cell phone. I didn't have any of that. And my neighbor, I was like, hey, can she had, and I just had my camera. And so we were fixated, and we are just looking, and you could see something, and it was like glowing like an LED light. But back then, you didn't have like the strips going around your room or things like that. So we saw it, and we were standing there, and it was like slowly, slowly, slowly coming and creeping over and creeping over. And I was like, I think that thing's coming towards us.
mm-hmm.
And then she's like, she's shaking, I'm shaking. I said, call my brother. Because 2 weeks prior to this, my brother and my son were coming, and within the area, they both saw a UFO. And my brother was telling me, and he's pretty shook. And I didn't really think one way or another. And I thought, well, I've seen some weird stuff. Who am I to really, say one way or another? And I was like, well, that's cool. He's like, no, 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 you don't understand. And I was like, I probably can't. But anyway, so fast forward, and I'm standing there. I said, call my brother, because I did not have my phone on me. And so she calls, and I was like, Eric, there's something really weird. And it's like, it's slowly creeping over. And I said, what should I do?" And he's like, if I were you, I'd stay there. I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have. Definitely not. So, anyway, we were standing there, and I dropped the camera. I had pictures of it before. I still do. But it crept over, and there were two trees, and thank God those two trees were there. I don't know why, because it could have probably had done anything and blown through those trees. But when I was looking up, it was only like about 15 feet above. When MUFON came and measured it, they measured it to be 30 feet away, 50 foot in diameter. And that sucker, like I said, it was not that high up. And so I was standing there, and it was just like, it was probably this, and I'll admit it now, it's probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life at first. I was like, what is going on
Mm.
here? And so my neighbor she has the door to her vehicle open. She's yelling, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I was like, I don't know if I move or not move. I don't know what I do. So I broke real quick, and I remember looking at her, Jessica, and when I looked back, the thing had, it was off, and it was off over onto the other side. And I was like, okay, now what are we doing? And again, she's screaming now at the top, "Get in the car, let's go, let's go." And so I look again, and then watch it. It shoots off, and it was like it blew up into, like, it didn't blow up, but it was like in 8 spheres, 7 or 8 like light spheres. And I was like, wow. And she's like, so I said, we need to go find it. She's like, just get in the car. So I got in the car, and we're driving, and we go, and it's only like maybe a mile or two, and she pulls over. And why? Because, this is like farm country road back in 2017. So there's
Yeah.
wires above ground yet, like those telephone wires. So we get out, and we're looking, and it's like somebody's just taking them. I mean, they're like, it's like a wave going on. And I was like, whoa. So I look above us, and I see this like metallic, like thing what I think looks like the craft, that we saw kind of, but the underneath of it maybe. And so I was like, all right, let's get back in the car and
Hmm.
get out of here. So went back. Now, what do you do with that? It's like, who do you call? So I looked up online and I found MUFON, which is a mutual UFO network, and I submitted a claim, and they came out and they had me go through. They talked to witnesses, they talked to everybody. We took pictures. They brought the measuring
Mm.
equipment, and that's where they said it was 1 mile, 30 feet away, and 50 foot in
How many
diameter. So
witnesses
that's
were there to this?
to Jessica and I, my neighbor and I. But they had, like I said, in the area, he had talked to my brother and my son. There's been other stuff that had happened in the area
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So that they kind of like they go through and they gather and they talk and to people, I guess, and see if they saw anything, if they've
Hmm.
seen anything. And there was like something with the fireball before, and it just didn't stop there too. It kind of continued with stuff, and we were trying to find a reasonable explanation for any of it. It's like
Hmm.
at first you're like, but there's no way. I mean, what I saw was so close. It was so close.
Was there any,
So,
as far as the time frame was concerned, like a lot of people report loss of time? Was there anything along those
oh,
lines that you
yeah,
could?
no, not at first, but it got
Oh,
there. It got weird.
what
It really did.
happened?
Okay, so once I started seeing one, it was probably, I'd say, okay, so it would have been July of 2017. The next one I saw would have been December. This is a confirmed one. Would have been December of 2017. Was just getting ready to move, which is a
S-
horrible, horrible time of year to move. But
Same
I was
location.
doing it.
Same location. You were leaving
I
that
was going.
location.
I'm leaving that location. I'm
Right.
going now 20 miles back to Dubuque.
Right.
So and I remember even stopping and saying goodbye. And I thought that was going to be the last time that I saw anything. And there were a couple other incidents, but there was never, they said like that maybe it had been Chinese lanterns, but then they came back and they're like, no, there's no way that they could have been in the air that long. It would have been over so many minutes. But I just wanted, anything like I thought, okay, the first one, maybe it's just like a fluke, but it changed everything. It really did. And so going and fast forwarding through December when the second, and I thought that I was out there and I was going to, and the MUFON investigator, Dave Creeder's like, okay, can you send me the pictures and videos? Because I sat out and I recorded. So then I went and I started looking back and I was like, well, this is so weird. And this is where it really took a wonky turn. So I was going and I look and I'm sending him stuff, but then I'm looking and the night before is really what I had this phenomenal video and pictures of a craft. I mean, like literally going over my head, but that was when I assumed that I had missing time because I do have no recollection. And I would have had to gone, there was like 3 flights of stairs at the time that I would have had to gone down. I had to gone outside. I had to gone out in like the deck. And I'm like, well, who the hell had my phone at first? And I was looking at the time and I was like, okay, this is weird. And then I just all of a sudden, like real quick, had this like flash, and I was just remember hitting the wall, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" Because now I now have, like I now starting to like remember stuff that I thought I was sleeping. I had no clue. I was downstairs. I had no clue that any of that had happened the night before, and I don't even know if I would have caught it necessarily if I hadn't been sending the videos. And I was like, this can't be possible. This cannot be possible. So that was kind of the first taste of it. I've had other times where I was looking and watching the clock and it was like 5 o'clock. And this is shortly after I moved. And it was like blinking. It blinked 3 times. It was like the microwave, the stove, and I had like this other like plug-in clock at the time. And they all it was 5:50. I looked like and I was like, okay. I thought, well, maybe it's a power. Maybe it's some, and I was looking, I realistically was looking for explanations that were normal. And, and as abnormal as the paranormal stuff, that was way far more normal than any of this. So that's kind of where everything started to twist and turn. And I had to, like, no stone left unturned. Like, I emerged myself. And I mean, emerged. Like, it started, I mean, I was looking up like, Einstein's unified field theory, and I didn't have interest in stuff like that. I cared more about like maybe my fashion of my clothes or something at the time, like what I was gonna wear the next day. I mean, that's where I was, and it completely like added a lot of depth to my life. But it took me, I was working as a mental health therapist in my nice little cushy office for 7 years, and it changed everything. It really did. I started to really examine things, and I'm definitely not the same person that I started this journey. And as many people as I've talked to, it kind of goes along the same thing. I hear, yeah, I was at this point and then all of a sudden, and it turns your world upside down. It really does. In many good positive ways, but I didn't really understand it at first. And so it's like, then you come in contact with other people and people like, Sonia and Sonia, or sorry, I had a dog. Anyway, so yeah, I love the name. No, it's so cute. It's Sonia and
No,
Sophia, so I always want to say Sonia.
now
So I
you got now
apologize.
you
Whatever's
Yeah.
fine with me, really.
now you got a new bitch now. So don't worry about it. You can easily remember that way.
Oh, and no one
Oh my
oh
gosh,
my God, my dogs
that's
are my world.
hilarious.
Woof,
Yeah,
woof.
no, so I did that the other night too. I was like, no, not Sonia. It's Sonia. Sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh wow, how did you know that? Seriously, how did you know that? I never told you that.
That's
That
so
what?
The Sonia and Sonia? I never said
that's
that.
so annoying
No,
when
I
people.
mean that's
It's
how it
not
is.
Sonia.
No,
It's
you're right.
Sonia.
No, it's
People.
Sonia. I don't really care either
People
way,
that
but I've
no.
always had this thing about what somebody calls me, if they call me Sonia or if they call me Sonia.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those weird things you develop when you're a kid. You're like, oh well,
I
if
didn't even know
if
that.
they call me Sonia, then that means they're super cool. If they call me Sonia, then But anymore, I don't like take. It's not like I'm gonna be like, how dare you? I don't. DGAF is how I kind of look at that, but it's one of those things I kind of had when I was growing up. And you got the Sonia thing right, which is super cool.
Oh, see? Oh, that
Yeah,
is
that's probably where that comes
cool. That
from.
is
Yeah,
cool.
sweet. And Jeffy does the same thing. He calls me Sonia too. So
Yeah. Sure.
that's
So
why I'm on board right now. So
surveillance. Svetlana
surveillance.
Savinkov as well. So stopping by, didn't think we were around. Well, we weren't around the first time. That's for darn sure. About a month ago now, things just completely. And I can see by just with talking with Coley here how her life, well, may not. Yeah, how it tends to operate, sort of a lot of improvisation, like last minute sort of organization, getting it all in place and making it happen. So, but yeah, we're here and things are good, and we're happy
Controlled
to.
chaos. Controlled
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. There you go. Bingo. I have a wrist tattoo, an ankle tattoo, a dragon that makes up a quarter of my back, says Svetlana. 3 tattoos, teenage at 18 and 25. Wanted to keep going, but as I hit my 30s, I kind of grew out of it. So it's a maturity. It's a maturity thing, I guess. Some
Oh,
people
I'll
is what
never
she's.
grow
I'm gonna
up.
have to disagree.
Well,
I think it's a
Mhm.
lifestyle more than anything, if you ask me.
Yes.
okay.
I would
Yeah.
rather pay for ink therapy than I would, and that's coming from an ex-therapist.
I wouldn't
So
mind
Yeah,
having I wouldn't mind having a tattoo or three. That'd be, but tasteful, and like I could not see myself
yeah.
getting too crazy with things, but a couple little kind of
A little
maybe on my
Jolly
back,
Roger or something.
or some Buddha thing, something some. But
Oh
definitely,
yeah, there you go.
Alistair Crowley, are you kidding me, girl?
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
What have you done? Let me tell you. Hey, here's your value added content. This is, if only the one reason that you dropped by here tonight, Coley. I will tell you, it's because Charles Allen Bennett. Make a note of this. Charles Allen Bennett. He was really tight with Crowley, and he was really instrumental in helping to promote Buddhism in the West. Crowley, for all the nasty things that he may have en- engaged in, been a part of, and it seems there certainly was a few, not least of which was helping to father the late Barbara Bush, or at least that's how the story goes.
Oh, I've heard
But
that.
yeah, well, just look at, it's like kind of like Castro and Justin Trudeau, but put those two together,
Oh
and
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
so,
Oh,
but what Crowley did was he actually helped. He gave the money to Bennett so that he could make his way to the east and study Buddhism, to practice Buddhism in, was it Thailand or Cambodia, Sri Lanka, a couple of countries in the East at the time. So, and that was, that was something that he did, which was, commendable, and that's hashtag good karma. But he also, I think, it was involved in a few less meritorious activities. Unfortunately, we'll just leave that where it is. You know that Jimmy Page bought his old manor. That was it called, the Boluskin place, that just in the last few years actually burnt to the ground, and now there's there's an attempt underway to rebuild Boluskin Manor, or house, as it's overlooking the shores of Loch Ness. So
Ooh.
pretty spooky place. But I would, if I had the chance, I would probably drop by and visit it. But I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I wanted to ask you: when you do your paranormal work,
Hmm.
do you prayer up, as it were, in your own way, whether it's Christian or whatever? Like, do you ask for protection, spiritual protection?
Yeah, and I really James the Gillian just recently got the clearings. But I have my own like little mantra. I say like spirits of the white light and the love of God stay with me. Spirits not of the white light and the love of God leave. When I go in and I do paranormal stuff, you never show fear. Never, never, never do you show fear. And so I go in and I just, I pound on stuff. And I don't ever relinquish that control when I'm doing that. But it is a
Right.
good practice, clearing, because you don't want
Hmm.
to bring anything home. You definitely don't.
Just
Yeah.
Rev, Just Rev. Thank you, Just Rev. We see that you're in the house, and keep an eye on D Live, if you would, Sonia. Just because, as we've mentioned in the past, sometimes people do drop us a little digital love, and we're not able to see it, given the way things are set up here via Restream. Now, talking about bringing things home, this has got me thinking immediately of, do you remember that couple? They were the famous ghost hunting couple that were involved in the so-called, like, is it a murder suicide deal? Actually, not too far from where you're based out of, if memory serves, the Midwest of America. I can't. I don't remember their. It was about not quite 10 years ago now. Um, do you know that there was it was an Italian surname, if I'm not mistaken, the guy had, and he was they put they put on their best face, I guess, for the show that they did. It was a reality based ghost hunting show, and he was abusive, I guess, and I'm not sure what her role in everything was. Sometimes it does take two to tango, but she
Right.
tried to get away. She
Oh, yeah.
tried to, get some space in the relationship, and as all too often is the case, it's just heartbreaking. The way the story things played out is that he came after her, and it was they were both dead within a very short period of time, gunshots or what have
Ooh.
you. So you don't know who I'm talking about there. I can't. The name doesn't come.
I feel like I hate to even say this, but I feel like that is it's not normal around here, but there's some weird stuff that goes on. Especially like, I mean, if you go to our next door neighbors over in Wisconsin, I mean, they've got Ed Gein over there. I mean, they've had quite a few, but
I'm sorry. A
that one
what?
doesn't stick
I'm
out.
sorry. A what? Geen? What's that?
No, Ed Gein, like the serial
Genie?
killer.
Oh, a serial
No,
killer.
yeah, like
Ed,
Wisconsin, like
Ed
they have
Gein,
a
is that what you're
ton.
saying?
Yeah,
Oh, oh,
yes, like the
that.
lampshade and make the lampshade
Oh,
out of you guy.
that
Yeah,
was
that guy.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy was creepy. That goes back about almost
Mhm.
100 years now, doesn't it?
No, wouldn't go back that far. Well, I take that back because my great aunt, because she'd have been the same age. I had a great aunt who
In
had
the
like growing up,
20s.
she had I don't know if it was like romantic fever or something that put her in, and she was in Mendota State Hospital, and I know he was in there at the same time. So I don't think that would have been 100 years ago, but
Oh, okay, but 75, maybe.
it was up there, but I don't know if it
Oh,
was
okay.
that far up
And
there.
hey, it's interesting, Iowa. So here's the thing. I went through the American Midwest back at the turn of the millennia, I was in a relationship with this witch who I didn't know was a black witch. I thought she was all right, but it turned out no, that was not the case. She's all about her, yeah, and she brought with her, I guess, this family grimoire that went back a number of generations. She wanted to
Ooh.
bury it beneath our house, my grandparents' house, and I
Yep,
don't think
that
that
is.
that ever happened. But I was helping her and her family out, and I was like a bank machine on legs there for the better part of a year. Just and that's the way it. But she was out of Iowa, and like, is it the
Some weird
tri-corner state or tri-corner area or for?
tri-states. That's right where I'm
Yeah,
from.
right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So maybe you're white light in. Oh, what? How do you put that magic little
Spirits
sort?
of the white light and
Yeah,
the love of God stay with me. Spirits not of
yeah.
the white light, love of godly. So I'm right in the
Banish
right. Okay, so
her.
if we go banish her, is she? Where was she from? Because
She was a great
it's not that
teacher.
big.
She was an awful person, but she was a great teacher. You know, I didn't, I
Okay, was
didn't, I
it
didn't
from
real.
Dubuque? I'm really
No,
confused because it's
well,
like
I'd have to look at I think Des Moines. We went through Des Moines. We went through Nebraska. We stopped off at Pine Ridge. The Indian reservation, Pine Ridge.
mhm.
And I always get confused. We also went through where's the big biker rally there in what the hell is it? Big
Sturgis.
Yeah, thank you. Went through
Oh,
there, of
yes,
course, and
Sturgis.
it was
Ooh,
beautiful,
girls gone.
Wyoming, and I loved it, man. All the cornfields and the people were great, man. I just totally because that those are my people, like the kind of people like out of the city usually is the people. I connect with whoever, but it's like the country folks are always they're the salt of the earth generally. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Love them.
yeah,
Love them.
yeah. So yeah, but that's kind of cool connecting with you. Maybe we can just a little. I mean, she was sort of what is the word? Not exercised, but purged, something to that effect. That hopefully cleansed, from my psychic sphere a while back. But you always got to continue in doing that work, I guess. I do a lot of
Sweet. Yeah.
visualization as far as mirrors, but also heart cultivation. And they talk about love being stronger than hate. So, but she was, I talked to the wife about it, and she's like, well, she did what she had to do. She's trying to survive. And I understand. I totally get it. That was it. Her and her kids, and I got her help get her out of a bad situation. But guys, just as a sort of like a little heads up here, be really careful. I would even go so far as to say never get involved in a relationship where you've got like someone who's maybe they're not entirely separate, they're separated from their ex, and you find yourself kind of drawn into the middle of it
It's
all.
called
Even
baggage, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was stupid. But I learned. It was a great learning experience. Never do it again. Obviously not. Maybe it's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale for anyone out there listening. You do think twice. Maybe three times. So, but
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
So I'm confused though for a second. So you were married.
no. Well, no, I'm married to a Korean. It's interesting. Check this out. She was into tarot too. She was into tarot,
Oh,
and,
okay.
she's like, oh, I don't think. Yeah, you need an Asian woman. You need an Asian woman. And trust me, like Asian women were not on my
Go
radar
bug back,
in
right?
the least at that point. I'm here now in Korea the past 23 years, right? And she said this repeatedly with this tarot thing. Yeah, and she'd kind of look at me with a bit of a little devilish twinkle in her eye. It's like, I think you need an Asian woman. So she said it like multiple times, like throughout the course of our relationship, just as a friendly reminder, I
Wow.
guess. So yeah, so that could be just a
Maybe
coincidence.
that was the curse.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Oh, no, what are you
Just
talking?
kidding.
My
I just
wife,
kidding.
my wife is the. Oh yeah, Sonia. Yes, Sonia's had to sing for me for forever.
Oh, I
Coley,
love you, Jeffy. Of
just
course.
That's what they
reverse
all
I
say,
mean,
trying to
right?
come on.
trying to psych me out. So yeah, no, my wife is a blessing. She's got her doctorate the other day, actually. So the big,
Oh,
yeah, doctorate, but
exciting.
Oh,
good. Yes, it's
congratulations.
so
Yeah.
now I can call her. It's like Doctor Park. It's Doctor. I'm teasing her, Doctor Park, Doctor Park. Really. So okay, but the question I wanted to ask you, and we'll check out the comment section here as well, and shout out
Three
once again.
minutes.
Thanks to oh shit, we're gonna get shut down, aren't we?
3 minutes.
Reverend Jim, we'll reconnect here hopefully
Okay.
momentarily. But the tarot, Coley. Do you
Yeah.
dabble in it? Or Ouija, which that freaks me out, man. I will no boy, no
Oh,
Ouija,
yeah.
no scary stuff.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I used to have a Ouija board that hung, but I'll like, I mean, yeah, it didn't, like I said, I don't know. My grandmother had like a wooden one, and I remember saying the table had levitated,
What?
but I had like, yeah, so she got rid of it. Like as a kid, it was so, I love that thing too. It
Just
had
a
like the
toy.
glass
It's
middle.
just a toy. Not.
I wanted that as some ghost hunt. I've always looked for one since then. I probably should not do that, but it had, the glass pandulet in the middle, and I remember her taking that out, and she told me that the table had levitated. So I believe her. I believe her
Oh, I
because she
see.
she didn't like make it
Hmm.
up. But
I've heard
yeah.
some weird stories too, like wine glasses flying across the room and all kinds of weird things. Art
Oh
Bell,
yeah.
you remember maybe or maybe not, but the old
No, I
Art.
remember art.
Okay, so Ouija, he would not talk about Ouija and his sister. There's something. Maybe we could find this out through Joshua Chair, as a mutual friend of ours, who's pretty chummy with Art's son. So that would be the way to go about it, to see if we could get to the bottom of what was happening on that front. What was so bad about his sister's experience, I guess, that he, with Ouija, or just that he had been sent a gift. Someone had sent him just from out of the blue this old
Mm.
Ouija board. I think he did talk about, and some really strange things going on. But who knows? And that you can just imagine how far back this goes. This business of channeling,
Yeah.
divination, I guess is they call it, different forms. I have I Ching here, but I don't play around with it though. It's not a toy. I take it very seriously. So
Oh,
uh
I've got some cool ghost hunting equipment, but I agree. Like you have to. I had a piece of, I don't know. My friend showed up with it at Christmas time, and it
30 seconds.
traced
that's
all the way
okay.
back to Area 51. No, that's okay, and I don't know the thing to, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Ghost
But
hunting equipment?
this was a haunted piece of some sort of equipment that it traced back to Area 51. He showed up, he said thought it was gonna light his apartment on fire,
Oh
is what
wow.
he told me. Yeah, it so crazy. I had to spray it with holy water, so if that tells you anything, and it finally busted into 2 pieces, and that seemed to, whatever it seemed to stop,
Wow.
It
and it
it
was
did that
fine,
on its
yeah.
own? Well, this did something on its own, didn't it? So, all right. Well, we'll be dropping back and connecting with Coley and Sonia here momentarily. But before we do that, let's take a look, see what else we got. A lot of great comments here via the Peanut Gallery. Zap Zap once again. Sonia, Boundless Authenticity Podcast. Number of lurkers, of course. Svetlana Savinkov, Rev Jim. I have an astrology birth chart on her ankle, a tribal band around her wrist. How cool is that? Surveillance, once again. What else are we looking at here as far as anything really jumps out at us? I know it's Sonya. My name gets messed up all the time. DK. That's all it all boils down to, right? So my name gets mispronounced all the time, says Svetlana. People just can't put the SV together. Svetlana. That's splendid. Ooh, look at that. My mom still can't say Vladimir. She says Valdemar. Voldemort. Okay, uh, the name game, hey, or the fame game, as Van Morrison sings about someone who, speaking of whom, we will be marking the 80th year anniversary, his birthday. coming up next week. So do take note of that. If you are a Van Morrison fan, we hope to do a real deep dive into his career and discography. In Canada, they force you to learn French until grade 11. Hated it. Didn't even know French people. Actually, I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I like French. I enjoy it a lot, and I embrace it as being part of the Canadian identity. I had no problem with it whatsoever. Now, the transfer payments, that's a scam. Sure, the oil rich, resource rich West getting ripped off by the East. That's not a good thing. You invite dark evil spirits in your space with Ouija boards. No protection spells. Tarot, there are no protection spells. You can do music, clean your cards, and the range. I don't know about that. Maybe there are. It's a good question, perhaps, for Coley or Sonia. I had a friend who played around with Ouija board and afterwards had a lot of weird things happen. Yeah, it's not a toy. And kind of like bears, myself. Whoops. Is this, am I calling? Oh, bloody hell. Maybe not doing the right thing here exactly. So let's, we'll be back on track here momentarily. Hopefully. Well, maybe that is what we got to do. It's the best that we can see right now. So, jeez. Let's give it give it a shot and see if Coley is still in the room, or we have to invite her. Oh, jeez. Okay. Maybe they're going to call us back. So we still are live streaming. Of course, WPRPN.com being the website. Encourage everyone to drop by, take a look at. Sign up is free. Great. You have to mute us out there on your end, Sonia, with the speakers. Yeah, there you go. So, all right. What are we looking at there as far as Coley is not part of the group or the conversation right now, but we can invite her. Just it's really hopefully not too complicated. We'll see. Looks like we are calling her. So last time there was from the get-go a bit of an audio problem, but fingers crossed that will now be resolved. Try this again here. Oh, no response. Not sure what the deal is there. You can try. Sonia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
I will try and see what happens here.
Yeah, give her a shot. It says we are. There's a delay. Turn down the speakers if you have us coming through YouTube.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
There we go.
what's causing the problem there. So
Crazy. It's just crazy stuff. Okay, maybe she'll be able to join now. There she is. Hopefully.
well, we'll see. Fingers crossed. So, was there anything just during the first part of the conversation that really jumped out at you that you felt we didn't necessarily go deep enough into?
Well, I'm kind of curious to ask her about spirit communication, her experiences with that.
Okay. There was a comment made in the peanut gallery that you cannot, speaking of spirits, spiritually cleanse tarot cards. I'm not an expert in the field, but I would suspect that may not be the case. That you can, why not? Some sort of ritual prayer, so that your cards are blessed. Why is that not possible?
Well, it depends on how people want to do things. It's really all personal preference,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Well, don't you want to have your cards perform at an optimal level so that they?
Sure. Usually, what you'll do is, well, what I do anyway is I clear the cards of any like vibes or energy or whatever before I do a new reading for someone.
Right.
Between readings, of course. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then if I'm going to have a deck where I use for myself, hi Chloe, then I will just use that for myself and then use another deck for reading everyone else, kind of thing.
I see. Gotcha. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we're back with the second half, and we can. It's maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't want to keep you held over too long. Um, Basically, anything goes, I suppose. Coley, okay, there's this question, first of all, Sonia. Let's allow you the opportunity. Something about spiritually. What was
Just
it?
spirit communication.
I see.
Just talking to people who've crossed the rainbow bridge is what I call it these days. Type of
Ah,
thing. Have you had any experiences like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's how I grew up. When I see spirits, like it's not like ET, like, but it's like a. I guess I'd describe it as like something you can kind of see through, but it's like maybe thick enough. Sometimes it's in color, sometimes it's not in color. Sometimes they're bigger, smaller. Um, I always like when I transition and see them. It's kind of if I found like if I was doing group therapy or things like that, or really, kind of into the zone, that's when they really pop up and that communication opens.
Mm,
But
interesting.
yes.
Yeah, I was also going to ask you something along those lines because this has happened to me a couple of times actually. And the first time I actually was around water. So I think water does kind of, and I've noticed that emotion too, like that whole thing will allow you to connect better. But I was in the middle of connecting with a child or seeing, and I see like in my mind's eye when this happens, I guess. It's always on this side for some reason, but and I can see shapes and things, not so much color like you were saying, but I guess everybody, they have their different ways of being able to see things and interpret them. But the person that I was reading for, I guess you could say, he touched my shoulder when it was happening, and it freaked me out, and it surprised me because I was like, why did that even happen? I don't know, but it's like it broke the communication, like it went psh, and like went
Oh
like
wow.
away, and it just tripped me out. So I don't know, maybe it just distracted me a lot or something. But I don't know, have you noticed anything like that happening, like if someone, like if you make a touch connection with someone, is it stronger or weaker, or does that have any bearing on it, do you think?
Oh, so you're saying the guy who you were giving a reading for reached out and touched you and it
Mhm.
just cut communication
Yeah, and
completely.
it startled the crap out of me, and he just it gently touched me, but because I was in tune, I guess, with her and her, the other family members that were there that were on the other side,
Oh
it just
yeah.
freaked me out, and that's when I kind of lost the whole connection. I mean, it came back, but it just freaked me out. So I was wondering, I've always kind of wondered what the heck was that about? Maybe
Yeah, no,
just
that's fascinating. You said that, and you said you were near water too. And I've
well,
always heard
that
water
was
is a
well, that
cleansing
was
or
it is.
communication.
Yeah, it's like an emotion thing, right? It's,
Mm-hmm.
cups and and the tarot and stuff. And so, but that was when it first started, way back when I first realized, or when I first heard my friend who had, died talking to me, like just clear as day, but it was like a telepathy talk, it's
Yeah,
really, that
yeah.
part was fascinating to me.
Oh, it
But,
is. It is too. Do you get
mhm,
kind of like where you see? I guess when I do, like, I was going through. I remember one time there's somebody's grandma that come through, and I was like, "Oh, I have such a hard time hearing." But I wasn't like, you're not hearing like somebody's yelling out to you. It's something
right,
that's going on internally, like that
right,
voice internally.
right.
Yes, yes.
And part of it was like it sounded like she was trying to yell, but I wouldn't call it yelling, but there was a stronger part and then a softer part, and then it kind of went into just like ideas that came through, not
Yeah.
necessarily words, because I did hear distinct words that was later verified, of course, but it was just so cool. I've always been fascinated with telepathy and things like that, just our innate abilities that have been, I guess you could say, dumbed down through everything, that we're living in.
Definitely. Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you think about? Okay, so I always tell people like telepathy is not just words. It's not just hearing that. It's also visual. I was
Hmm.
like, do you think okay, and I don't know, this maybe is like going way far out there, but I'm so that's crazy that you have the same stuff. We have I feel like we have so much in common.
We do.
And yeah, that's amazing. And so do you think that sometimes like they can or maybe some of the stuff or the spirits or something is them and a lot of telepathy like or do you know what I'm saying? Like, are they communicating? Like, when you see them, is that like what I'm seeing? When I do and make that, like, I just shifted for a second and I see something. Is that like them projecting some of that,
I
or is it?
think maybe it must be projecting, right? I mean, how else would they do that, really? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, obviously, I'm, kind of just guessing too, but it seemed like my friend, when she first contacted me, first of all, I was crying because, I'm a girl and I miss my daughter, blah, blah, blah. But I think that
Oh,
emotion thing is what gave us the connection, because it was through her daughter that she was trying to talk to me about her and her husband and things. So I'm thinking that it would seem like there was somebody there that was like helping her do that. It seemed like she was like in a
oh,
phone booth or something, where she had the opportunity and she was like trying to tell me really quick what was going on and stuff. And it was like, I don't know, there's somebody like facilitating it or something like that. I don't know. It's
yeah. No,
very
that's
odd.
interesting. It just,
It is.
kind of just popped into my head. I mean, when you said that, I'm like, well, maybe, that's more of what's, because I always thought that was strange. Like, why do they always come what they look like here on planet Earth? And why do they
Hmm.
always look like and that type of thing? But
Hmm.
maybe that's a part of it. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
I think it's to be
fascinating.
recognized mostly is why they like have certain outfits on or things. And obviously, well, I've heard before that it's how they feel most comfortable kind of thing. And for some reason, everyone I have talked to, I see their clothes and their shoes and like their like how they're dressed and their hair. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a girl and I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's like very distinctive,
That's how
especially
they.
shoes and
That's how
things
they
like
want
this.
you to see them.
So
I would say I
yeah,
think you're right about
most
that.
likely.
And apparently,
Yeah.
when we die, that I'm not sure what it is from the subjective, how it is from the subjective perspective end of things, but people who've had NDEs, they claim to see old friends and family that have passed, and they're all, even though they might have been grandparents and really elderly, that they return to sort of uh, middle age, kind of young middle
I've
age.
heard
Hmm.
that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they prefer that visage or
there
whatever, or
you
that
go.
type of energy,
I
I
don't blame
suppose.
them.
You steal
Yeah,
that word.
I don't
Right.
blame them.
Like in their best time, or
You stole
Go
that
back to
word
our
from me.
20s. Yeah,
Visage.
no, for sure.
yeah, right. There you go. Because there's no time over there. I asked my friend Brooke at one point, I'm like, what is time? And she's like, it's anytime, all the time, is what she told me. I was like, oh, that's interesting for sure.
Has she had an NDE?
Brooke?
Yeah.
Oh no, she just crossed over. She just left,
Well,
kind of thing.
that's an NDE, isn't it?
No, that would be a near death. She actually went
This is
all the
a
way
death
into the death thing.
experience. Yeah,
Thank you.
Well, no,
Thank you,
she's not
Coley.
coming back.
she flatlined, right?
Yeah.
She was clinically dead.
Uh, yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
happened. Remember
Well,
Brooke when you first interviewed me? We talked about Brooke and my
that goes back a ways
the
now.
whole
So
the only like, well, I shared a few of them, but that was the main spirit communication, that like the first one I ever actually had that was
oh,
validated.
wait a minute. You're saying that she's now she's gone. She's no longer
Yeah,
here with us. I
yeah,
Yeah,
see.
she's
Brookie. Remember
gone.
Brookie? Yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
here's the thing. How long do we actually stick around there, or like what you would call a soul or spiritual energy? That as a memory resonance of who we
Mhm.
were in a past life before we move on to the next life, right?
Good question.
And circle around, born again. Jesus talked about his born again business 35 times in the New Testament. He also said, woman, do not touch, get your hands off my robe, biatch. Basically, so talking, because, and you were just hitting on that. Robert Morningstar, he's got that same uh ability, I guess, and he gets a little irritated when I can't remember the name. It's some sort of there's a skill like where you touch
Psychokinesis?
no psychomet
No,
psychosome
psychometry. You're talking about psychometry where you touch an object?
right psychom okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
psychometry.
Yeah, well, or a person, and there you
Yeah,
pick
it's
it up.
it's all
Yeah,
the energy sensing.
even just shaking a hand and you get a weird vibe or a good
Yeah.
vibe, or really kind of like you know
That was
so
my
some
grandma. Yeah. She used to be
Yeah.
able to hold something of somebody's in her hand and she could tell you all about that person.
That's
really.
That was
so
her.
cool.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
kidding.
So
Can
cool.
you remember some
Yep.
stories?
I remember some lady because she worked she owned a salon, so she went to beauty school. That was her big, form of independence. But I remember somebody handing her like a chain link necklace or something that they were wearing that they had. So, but that residual energy. And I just remember her holding it and telling her like all about, and I was sitting down there as a kid and I was like, wow. But she could never
Wow, yeah.
understand that I could see them. So it was totally different. It was totally different. But yeah, I just remember her cousin then used to read tarot with a deck of playing cards.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
that can be done. You
Old
can
school.
do a tarot, a version of tarot with playing cards.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
I
just no
remember my
major
aunt,
arcana.
it would be my grandma's cousin Ginger. You can't forget Ginger. She had a deck
wow.
of playing cards and she would be able to read. And I don't know how she did it. I don't. I really don't. I wish I would ask more questions, but
Yeah.
Do you,
It's
Sonia?
pretty
Do you,
simple. Sure. It's well just the four suits. It's basically it's the tarot without the major arcana. It's the minor arcana of the tarot.
okay.
So it's the four suits, and then you have your court cards and your 1 through 10 or ace through 10. So yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Can you
okay.
read
That's how
them
I do
like
it.
that? I've never seen anybody
Sure.
since then. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, just read it like the 2 of diamonds would be the 2 of wands. So yeah, kind of thing.
Maybe
Wow.
if Coley's interested at some time, at some point, you can give her a complimentary
Yeah.
reading.
Oh, that
Ooh,
would
I
be
would love
fun.
that. I would
Yeah.
Yeah.
love
Cool. We'll have to do it
that.
on a show
Yeah.
or something. That would be
Oh, that would be
sweet.
excellent.
Yeah. That would be
Well,
so fun.
do you
Yeah.
want? Do we could? Should we do it now?
Um,
We
I
don't
don't
have. I
even
don't
know
want
where
to
my
put you on the
cards
spot.
are
Okay,
even
okay. Don't no. Just
because
leave
I'm
it
like
for.
packing
No.
stuff,
Yeah.
getting ready to
I,
RV
oh,
kind of
okay.
thing.
But I'll tell you what.
On
You
the
did that
Highland
reading.
road trip.
You
Yeah.
did that reading for
Yeah.
me before we left on the trip
Yeah.
to Canada a couple weeks
Hmm.
ago. Like we were supposed
Yeah.
to do the show with Coley, then it got
Oh,
postponed,
Yeah.
and
We ended up
then
doing
we're off
cards and
we're off
stuff.
to
It was cool.
Canada. But you did the reading,
Worked out
and
great.
it's and then you remember the sunshine, the sun card.
Yes, I do.
What were you
Yes, yes, yes.
what were you saying about the sun? And then
Well, first of all, it's the most positive card of the deck. I
yeah,
mean, everybody knows that. The
okay,
reason why I say that is because I used to have a
was it
commercial.
upside
Those
down? No.
infomercials.
no,
No,
thank
no,
God.
those infomercials they used to have where call in for $2.99 a minute and get a card reading, and they used to always say the sun is the most positive card of the deck. So I always joke around like that, but not
Oh, I
everybody knows
see.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, so some people know, but yeah, so yeah, very very positive card.
And then
Sunshine.
you're talking about it, and then you pulled. You're saying, "Oh, everything
Right.
things are looking pretty good for you, pretty sunny and upbeat and sunny." And then
Yes. And
boom, you
then
pulled the
bam, then
sun
I
card.
pulled the sun card.
Like,
It was
whoa,
like,
Oh, how cool is
what a
that?
validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And you did have a good trip, right, Javi?
yeah. And I
Very
kept
sunny.
talking about Ed. She gave me the reading. They said it'd be really positive, and it's got a really decent vibe here. So let's ride it out. Let's enjoy
Yeah. Cool.
ourselves. Okay. Well, let's see. There's in the comment section. I have to apologize to Svetlana. I read it. I looked at it a little too quickly, and actually, she was saying that there is a way to cleanse. There are protection spells you can do, ways to cleanse your cards of negative energy. So I got that
Yes.
ass
Sure.
backwards. She also, and the friend with the tarot, and she just really is going on a tear here. We might get 100 comments actually altogether. So things are definitely on fire. One time bumped into. Oh, here's a trippy story. They were all alone in a house, and then suddenly from out of the blue, there's all this noise that was being made, and his friend's mom's voice, clear as day, saying, "Brian, can you come down here?" And it really freaked her out. Probably freaked out Brian too, right? But and I guess
Yeah.
there was nobody. I guess she swears there was nobody home. He was using the board downstairs, and that's where all the weird stuff would happen. Ashtrays flying off the tables and other
Ooh.
weird
Wow.
stuff. Yeah, long. One time hanging out in his basement, something literally attacked her. Felt like someone was standing on my chest. I couldn't inhale. I'm going to just switch things over here. It's a little distracting with the settings we have currently.
Man.
So stand by. Inhale, sweating, dizzy, went running outside as soon as he got to the steps. It stopped. Her babushka used to say that drinking drugs or playing the dark magic makes holes in your aura. You
Sure.
susceptible to spirit. And
Mm.
I've heard that even weed, folks. Don't kid yourself. Weed. I agree.
Well,
I definitely.
I just want to say that nowadays there's frequencies and technology putting holes in everybody's aura and just basically stealing it too and using
Yeah,
it for
yeah, and
whatever they
Oh
put
yeah.
on.
experimental
So,
kill shots too. That they're kind
Yes.
of compelling people to take.
right.
So you're up to.
Dropping like flies. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a complete another story, but yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
completely out to lunch. So many people are just utterly clueless. They have
Detox.
no sense of
Detox.
it's terrible. But Wi-Fi, what you're up to, you're the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi sort of full spectrum dominance. We talk about here on the show quite routinely about, like I do at least, down to every last little nano particulate, the way everything's been weaponized against us, our food supply, the water, big pharma, the education system, media, even the entertainment, for crying out loud, and these
Oh yeah.
music industry and so forth. So
Even words, like
oh yeah,
sayings and the way we relate to each other has been weaponized.
casting it.
Everything has.
Spell. How do you spell that? Oh, here's how you. I'll spell
Yeah,
it. Let me
Oh
it's
spell it
called
for you.
spelling. You
So
know, I mean,
right?
yeah, tells you.
Even I heard clothes, your frequency of your clothes, that they're
Yeah,
like messing with it that way, and the colors and
sure.
fabrics and all that stuff. So
that's
yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
the
And then
nanomaterial stuff in fabrics. Apparently, it's in everything. That nano
yeah.
stuff.
So,
Yeah,
Svetlana,
unfortunately.
and there's a lot of nano in those experimental kill shots, courtesy of, I mean, among others, not only Fauci and Gates, but also Harvard's, the former head of the biochemistry department, a not so nice Jewish man. Why is it always not so nice, not very nice Jewish man? Epstein and Weinstein
Yeah.
and who
Oh yeah.
why is his name escaping me now, buddy? This guy just a real monster. Not Netanyahu. He's got his own thing going on there over.
Because who
Yeah,
cares about monsters?
The ultra Zionists are the ones
Oh
pulling the
yeah,
strings. Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
ultra.
But
Yeah.
Charles Lieber, thank you very much. Thank memory, however, kind of managed to liberate itself. Yeah, Charles Lieber is the one to keep your eye on, folks. Definitely, as far as the nano and the experimental kill shots go, it's a major deal. It will blow your mind if you start to look into it. So Svetlana, just talking about, yeah, she uses protection prayers, and I'm not sure if you say spells necessarily, but doing a reading, cleansing cards and of energies after using them. So she's
Sure.
someone else that we're working on getting booked here as well. We've
Mm-hmm.
had on before, but let me. Okay, she's talking a lot about burning sage and so on and so forth, and
Mm-hmm.
Polish people having a uh, Weber. That's German, isn't it, Coley?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's German.
Okay.
But where I think it really comes from, the site part is my mom. She's Irish, so that was Cahill. Oh, Cahill. So that's where that part of it comes from.
The kind of the Irish, the Irish,
Mhm.
they're the ancient, said to be the ancient Aryans, along with,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, Ireland, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Well,
Ireland.
my aunt, who would have been my great aunt, she's allegedly in the history. I've even pulled her out. Saved my family from the potato famine,
Oh,
and that was
Yes,
through the same type of. So that's where that's where I traced it back to anyway.
well, that's amazing. Just something to do with the. Was it Rh negative? Is that what they call the blood type?
No, I'm AB negative, which is really weird. My grandmother on my dad's side, paternal, the one that was able to hold something in her hand and tell you she was RH negative.
Hmm.
I'm AB negative, and AB negative is really it gets even wonkier than that. They say that that's like the second wave of the RH negative.
Hmm.
So there's
Hmm.
not a whole
right.
lot out on it, but I think that they will be coming out more and more. I just know if I go in and I have like surgery, they have to find my blood type because
It
a lot of people can have mine. I just can't have theirs.
it's
Mm-hmm.
really rare, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I had my parents, this is even weirder. They are both O negative. So
Wow.
I wasn't compatible with them at birth. So I was really jaundiced. I was a really yellow,
Mm,
yellow baby.
right.
Well, I'm really cynical and pessimistic, so I'm just B negative.
Are you B negative?
cynical and cynical and
To be or
pessimistic.
not to be.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, almost as bad as the up the ante
Woo!
joke.
Yeah, that's up the ante.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well, please. So,
These
Fantastical.
will forever stay with me. Yeah.
are you down with that? I hope you're down with
I'm
that.
down with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Polish people have a superstition: shaking people's hands through a threshold. Supposed to wait until they're in the house or step outside the house before shaking their hand. So I see in the house or outside is okay, but not when you're like on a you're on
Doorway,
a different
kind of.
step or something, a different level.
Mm,
Yeah.
hmm
Offering your hand to
Oh,
shake. You could get,
interesting.
oh my God, you get the door slammed in your face. Look at that, eh? It's inviting
Mhm.
evil spirits, apparently. That's the superstition, I believe. Tattoo face. What's up, Sonia?
Oh,
Speaking of,
tattoo face in here.
weren't we
Oh
just
my God.
weren't we just talking about
This
tattoo face?
this is my bro.
So he's a
Yeah.
former
Yeah.
carnival worker,
No,
circus
no. I was actually
freak
interested in
attraction.
getting him on the show sometime. He's had a excitingly interesting life for sure.
Ooh.
Been through lots of things.
Is he really all tatted up on his face as well?
He is. He does. His face is completely covered with tattoos. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I think I've mentioned him to you before, but yeah, and he's the guy who had spent a little time in the joint there.
San Quentin.
Oh, does he have
I
the
don't think he went
teardrop?
to that one, but yeah, and I know you were talking with my son about something like that, so I don't know, you might find his stories pretty interesting.
This is not your
Ooh.
son,
So
though, is it? This is
no,
someone
this is
different?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
He's like a friend of the family. He's like
I
a
see.
family member, I guess you
Okay.
could say. We've been friends for many, many years. So
Okay. So,
he actually was with Brooke, the girl that was talking to me, through the ethers. They were together for some time. They actually had a child together. So, and you guys were talking earlier about knowing, Coley, when you were saying about when you had dreams and you knew when someone was going to be born or if they were going to pass away or whatever.
that's weird.
I thought of this earlier
You just
too,
show up
that I
now.
had this experience that
Synchronicity.
I was driving. We used to work at the tattoo shop together back in the day. And I was driving to the shop and I knew Brooke was pregnant. I was like, so when I got there, I was like, so when are you guys having the baby? And he's like, how did you know? He's like, we haven't told
See?
anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
and I was just, when you're driving, you get in that meditative kind of state kind of thing.
But you
Yep.
forgot we were just talking about we're asking the question about tattoos on your face. Would you or would you not? And we are also talking about Brooke and how often does that happen? Not just one, but both of them together. And then suddenly he shows up. So that's some pretty trippy synchronicity.
That is kind of
That
Yeah.
is. That's
It's worth
awesome.
noting.
Wow.
Sweet.
Confirmation. Yeah, I love it.
Sweet.
Yeah. So final comments here. Reading the cards physically draining. Don't do it often. Haven't done it since my daughter was born. Celtic people descend from the Indo-Europeans, as do Slavic, from before the Great Migration. So there we go. Not sure what either of you care to add to that, if in fact anything. And I've got just a couple. I'm not sure if we've covered everything. Sonia, how would you like to wrap this up? I mean, we could go on for ages. Of course, I don't want to. She's been busy. I mean, wow, it'd be kind of cool to go out. This is kind of like a virtual coffee or beer, I guess. Or what or spliff. Take your pick.
You're so loosened up since you got back from Canada.
Really. I was all uptight before then. Is that
you
right?
You were uptight before. Yeah, you were. You're like, don't cuss. How could you? I mean, and I agree.
We're not
you don't want to
swearing.
blah blah blah. I have heard you swear more than I ever have since
today.
I've known you. No, not today, but since you've gotten back, really. You're not as uptight.
Oh no,
well, that's good.
Look,
I don't know what happened
up a little.
Hold it. No, here's the thing. We got one complimentary F-bomb per show, right? That's
what you used to say.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Javi, whatever you want to do, it's your boat, okay? I am just like sailing on here with you.
My boat. It's my boner.
So, It's your what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say
Whose
boat?
boat? Who are we to
I
speak?
thought you said boner. Sorry.
I think it's singing
Get that. Somebody grab
Cannonball
this
went the
bar
wrong
of soap.
direction or something.
Bar of soap.
Maybe we got hit by
Cl-
somebody else. Or
Clean
something.
that.
I don't know what happened
That
just now.
woman.
So
Sanitize that orifice.
Oh my god.
Okay, something's funny. All right. After you stop peeing your pants, what happened?
Woo! That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh my god.
Sometimes people they try too
You're a
hard.
comedian, bro.
An uptight comedian. I don't think that flies.
No, you're loosened up comedian
It was
now.
blame it on the pot shops.
Yeah,
Canada's
yeah.
pot shops. That's
Yeah, is that what it was? There you go.
I had a generous exposure to the low quality total lightweight here, sativa 12.7, I guess. So we won't get
Coley,
into
this
that.
is my friend Jaffe.
Okay.
I just wanted you guys to meet. So.
Yeah.
It's been a month in the making. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think he tried to reject me the first time and he somehow, destroyed my audio in the process.
That was before he went to Canada, so you got
he
the more
loosened up
relaxed
in
version.
Canada. I like it. I like
so
it.
it worked out perfect.
Hey, yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
He's loving this, by the way. He is. He is loving it.
Well, we'll see. Whatever the peanut gallery contingency have to.
Speechless.
Well, I don't know
what happened.
What should I say? What can I say? Putty's got my tongue. So there we go.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All right. Okay, so a couple as we're winding things down now. So the experience now.
Yeah.
Grant Cameron and Augie Nost, that's where we share something in common, along with the Montauk end of things, and the fact that you're going to be hopefully having Christian on within a not too distant future.
Yeah, no, Christian is coming next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Oh, good stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, which is some mind-blowing information at BTW.
Oh yeah, no, I was so thankful. He's great. He's absolutely excellent. So I look forward to that. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be fun.
I missed that acronym. What does that stand for?
What?
VTW?
BTW?
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, you just said. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sometimes I say those.
Okay.
IYK.
OMG. OMG.
Yeah. OMG.
TMI.
AFK.
TMI. WTF. Right.
WTF.
LOL. Yeah.
LOL. Yeah. Good
SOS. So
SOS.
we're going down in flames.
ESP.
Yeah.
ESP.
Yeah.
You know me, with PP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, baby. Rock it out.
Girls are just mean.
See some background music.
Totally mean.
Maybe a doobie or two.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
Okay. Last question, really, as far as that we've got here for you this week, and we could, like I said, go on a great length here, but let's wind cap things off on a positive note. Interdimensionals or like space travelers. How what do you think is really going on within the realm and the world of ufology? What are people experiencing? And you spoke of Carl Jung earlier. I'm not sure if you've read his book on. Do you know that his last book was on flying saucers, 1961. You may not be aware of that, Coley, but check it out. There's an audiobook version on YouTube, which is really, it's there. It's free.
Is that the red book?
No, the red book is quite something too, isn't it? No, it's just called On Flying Saucers.
Oh, no. I didn't even know that existed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow, I'll have to look into it.
Value-added content.
Yeah, should be interesting to see his perspective.
What do you think? Interdimensionals or what, or space travelers? What's going on exactly? How do you break?
I think it's interdimensional stuff. I'm not one to even. I don't even know. If you start to sort through, never give straight answers, I don't even think that they're, I'm just going to go with interdimensional because for the life of me, and every single map that I've seen or gone through, it's outer space seems to be right or left, not up or down. So none of
Hmm.
that makes much sense to me, but then it's not my area of expertise either. But I'm gonna willing to go out on the limb here and say it's interdimensional.
Hmm. My dad was he's an experiencer as well, and had something happen to him. My sister and former stepmom. I'll share the link with you later, and you can check it out if you're interested. But
Yeah.
it's really quite trippy what transpired, frankly. And now he gave two extensive interviews to me, sharing details on the phone, because I remember him talking about it before, and I never really got the particulars. But then I followed up the third time, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh,
He's like,
wow.
"It's just totally memory wiped." Yeah, and it's like
Wow.
it's there, but it's just something, for some reason he was open the other two other prior times over the phone, but then with the third occasion, he just something was in kind of lockdown mode mentally, locked down. So and my sister has she kind of says, "Oh yeah, that thing," and then just doesn't talk about it. Well, she's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, right," and then just wants to
Oh,
change
some
this
people can
conversation.
though. Like my brother, he's had a lot of the experiences that I have, but he will not talk about it.
I'll,
He
I'll
won't go near it.
What I will tell you though is she's open to hypnotherapy. She also believes in
Ooh,
reincarnation, which is kind of cool. I kind of get a kick out of that, and I
I do
love
too.
her more than ever with that the chance, and my brother too, with the opportunity had. You know, they came here last year to Korea, but it's just really great to see them again because the chances that we have to connect in the physical are far and few between. Although really, to me that's not a huge obstacle or problem because I'm, kind of this non-duality business and zero point energy, quantum entanglement, and so forth. It's, non-locality. It's all here and now, anyways. Really,
Oh yeah.
it's time and space is just it's an illusion, really, as far
I thought so. And last time I was supposed to come on, I'm just so glad you said that because time is definitely an illusion.
as.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, but okay, interdimensional Carl Jung, and I will shoot you that link. Anything else,
Perfect.
Sonia, that you'd like to follow up with here as we call it a night?
Um, not that I can think of other than Coley. Do you want to let everybody know where to find you and what you got coming up or going on and things like that?
There you go.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. We have some exciting stuff going on, and I've been doing the Friday night collabs with Rob
Mm.
from Typical Skeptic podcast, Rob. And yeah, so we have some fun people. Yeah, I don't know if I can give spoilers on what's coming up, but yeah, so I'll tell you behind the scenes what's going on. But yeah,
Sweet.
no, you can look for SNX Radio. Find Cole. I hate saying this,
SNX.
but Coley UFO. You can find Coley UFO.
Well said. Well said.
Holy Coley? Is that it? Holy Coley?
COLEYUFO. No, yeah. So it's stuck with me, unfortunately, and I've got like 50K on X, so I can't really change it. So I just embrace it.
Oh
I just
wow.
embrace it.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
pretty cool. I
Your
like that.
subnation X account is gone though. It's totally not.
On X?
Yeah,
No,
it's.
it's. I think it's backup. That's
Oh,
a backup.
okay.
You wouldn't know is not a very good one right now, but it is a backup, and that the subnation is what SNX is short for. It's cryptic. Subliminal dissemination is actually what it is. So SNX
Hmm,
and X is who you're looking for. So
right
put an
on.
X on.
Good
Mm,
X marks the
stuff.
interesting.
spot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. So I love that I got into all that steganography, cryptology, the whole nine yards. But
Yeah.
and when it comes to Latin tattoos,
Maybe.
I'll
not so
totally help
worried.
you out. Anytime you want to get another
Oh,
tattoo,
girl, I do.
I will do some
Yes.
research. I'll tell you what I know, help you
Thank
out and
you.
stuff
Thank
like
you.
that.
Maybe you can help
I'm
me with this cover up but
Sure,
maybe
if that's what
that'd
you
be
want to
great.
do. I mean, maybe it's,
Oh,
everything happens for a reason.
but hang on, hang on. The Latin. Let's go over that Latin once again. So what if it was? It doesn't say I love Aleister Crowley. It's just like
Right.
sometimes even the devil
That's
speaks the
true.
truth.
Oh, that's a
Sometimes
good
even the
point.
devil speaks the
Yeah,
Yeah,
truth, right?
that's
And he
right.
did.
that's
He
Yeah.
true.
did. He was instrumental in getting Buddhism
Mm,
and more cultivating more of an interest in the West through Alan Bennett. Charles, I think Henry Allen Bennett was his name. So I got it. Check that guy out, man. He was that guy. You
oh,
talk about having like kind of mystical powers, or the CDs as they refer to them, I guess, in the East. Not that's we should not strive to. I don't know. I don't think we should. We should just accept them as they occurred organically, rather than I want spiritual special power. I don't know. I just don't think
right.
that's the way to go about doing things. But
No.
he was great, and not Crowley really, because he just had a. There's something about the shadow that just kind of he. I mean, we have to do that shadow work, but I
Yeah.
think it in the end, his final words were I despise myself. So sometimes I despise myself, allegedly, and then I am perplexed. So he just,
Hmm.
and that's the last thing you want to be when you pass away, is confused.
Yeah.
So
Well, or when you're alive too, you want to
well, that
love yourself. You don't want to
yes,
hate
yeah,
yourself. I mean, what kind of
Yeah.
that's
miserable
that
existence would that be?
that's
To
right.
be messed up,
That's with the
you know?
Buddhistic whole thing path. It's making friends with yourself. Exactly what you
Right.
said, so that we're comfortable
Oh,
living
yeah.
our own skin, and
Hmm.
whether we have
So do you think
tattoos on our
that maybe
face
this was
or
given a bad name or something? Or
who
no?
uh,
Aleister Crowley?
well, no, no. I
No.
think he probably deserves to be criticized for some,
Well,
but
I was had hope here
but
for a second.
but we have to look at the whole
That's
picture.
right.
I'm not an expert on the guy, but at least he was instrumental in helping, getting Alan Bennett. He paid for his trip to the East, and Alan was Alan came back and never talked to Crowley again because of just the things that he was up to. He'd heard some pretty awful stories. Maybe see they met during their time with, I think it was the OTO. Was it the OTO or some? No, no. It was the
Whoa.
Golden Dawn. Maybe some one of these kind of mystical,
Yeah.
magical, secret societies, and that Bennett really, I think, he was a force to be contended with, and he kept it together throughout the course of his life. And just Crowley, because of all the drugs and stuff, as we've talked about, it just his life kind of went off the rails a little bit. But he was super, very intelligent, of course, very capable. There's no, you got to give the devil his due, right?
Right,
So, but
right.
there's a lot of naughty
I
things
don't
that.
know if you'd want to mark it on your wrist, but yeah.
No, 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 no. But it's just Latin. It's
It's
Latin.
the
What?
mark of the
Oh,
devil.
no, no, no. No.
Just
What
kidding.
what does it read? Let's hear that again, and we'll
Yeah.
call it a
What
day
are the
here.
actual words?
Yeah,
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask me, and I was like, "This is gonna even sound way worse." I can't even pronounce it. It's like
try.
weird and
Go ahead. Were you drunk when you did this, or what?
Oh,
no, I just wanted a
Yeah,
tattoo,
that was
and the guy
cool.
had
yeah.
time,
She's
and I was like,
addicted. It's part of the
All right.
addiction, Jeffy.
Well, email it to us. You can email it to us, and we'll
"Yeah,
try to translate and suss it all
Veritas is
out.
truth. Aquitas is justice. At least I've. This is Boondock
Oh,
Saints kind of
that's
thing.
pretty
Remember
cool.
that movie? You
I,
guys haven't seen Boondock Saints. You have to
they
see
made it
that.
into a
oh
video
yeah."
game. I know that. Yeah, Boondock Saints.
What?
Yeah. PlayStation and all that kind of
Oh
stuff. So
my.
yeah.
That's not right.
Well, ladies, hope you have a great weekend, and our listening audience as well.
Yes. It was so much fun. Thank you for coming on. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. It was
yeah.
great.
No, thank you for having me. This was just so much fun. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
absolutely.
So
Great laughs.
yes, yes, and I'll be in touch soon. Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe you can help decipher my tattoo. And
Yeah, we'll have
yes,
to check
we'll
it out
go.
for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you guys.
Happy sailing.
Welcome.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
See
Good
you.
night.
Bye. Arr.
Oh, they're so naughty. So, but fun. Naughty but fun. It's like just a little three-way kind of action. They're not exactly, you could say virtual menage a trois. somebody might be offended by that, but it's not meant in the literal sense, more just in the up in your ante way of looking at things. So, having said that, yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation. Coley, quite a character. And I think, wow, like her UFO experience and some of the, you know, I think we talked a little bit about Ouija, tarot, ghosties, and so forth. But I think, yeah, we could have gone a little deeper with her on a number of different areas. That's usually what we save for the after show. We haven't been doing too much of that, the Rogues Gallery after show lately. We could maybe. It just all depends. It depends what people what their time schedules are like and what they're up for. I try not to, you know, go out of my way in burdening uh, our guests excessively. Um, you know, I mean, it was like an hour and a half plus there of her time, so it was great though, getting to know her a little bit more, and the Iowa location and what we can do in helping to cleanse that particular region if necessary. I got a good feeling. I got a really positive, kind of really great feeling as far as the cleansing and the Irish, the Irish heartbeat, and how deep that goes, maybe on the Druidic, you know, within that context of that whole tradition. Uh, you know, in the word, just look at the pagan, for crying out loud. You know, don't ever let anyone try to put you down for being pagan. Uh, all it means is country person. That's all it means. Country person. And where did the term come from? It was the Vatican. It was Rome. You know, they're waging war on anyone who was a pagan, right? Not one of us. You know, heretic. Another term that simply means to choose. How dare you have free choice, right? My God, what a horrendous thought. And the word propaganda. Propaganda. I think there might be a connection there as well. Guess who came up with that, coined that term? It seems to be the Vatican once again. Largest landowner on the face of the earth. Definitely something worth reflecting upon. There's a great picture, really beautiful smile. When Irish eyes are smiling, you know, so of Coley. But we will be back here, you know, uh, God willing. Something Sonya doesn't really like to hear all that much, but the cosmos willing, maybe that suits her a little better. This coming Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 on the East Coast. Wednesday at noon here via the Tokyo and Seoul time zone. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Be sure to like, comment, share. Remember to hit subscription notification buttons. Password along to friends, family, and coworkers. You know, it's all very much appreciated. And hey, thanks as well. It looks like we got our 100 messages today with special guest of the week, Coley Weber. Way to go, gang. Great stuff. Really appreciate it. You know, the peanut gallery was definitely on fire this week. There's no doubt about that. So 12 noon here Wednesday via the Tokyo Seoul time zone. PayPal, Pyro One Radio at protonmail.com. It's also how you can contact us if you have any show suggestions or guest ideas. Sonia, our co-producer and booker, is another way of going about doing that, of course, to Sonya galacticfire.com. Find that link in the show notes easily enough. On behalf of Captain Long John, Sinclair, and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas, I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Steady as she goes.
I know. There we be. Having carefully looked over each of our navigation panel instruments, checking every level, switch, dial, cable, knob, and pulley, by all accounts and indications, we indeed see it's time, once again, to drop anchor inside Mystic Bay, draw an end to yet another week of World Pirate Radio Live. Remember, if you're looking for a little more animated online action, keep in mind we've likely got yet another great free-flowing Rogues Gallery after show coming up for the next hour in one of our more premium, exclusive, and remote digital underground online pirate hideaways. Also, if you yourself have a new, novel, intriguing, or otherwise underreported idea, unique individual, or pressing item in mind, be sure to either drop us a line directly over on WPRPN.com or fire us a quick email via PirateOneRadio@ProtonMail.com. We're always open to exploring fresh creative suggestions, intriguing guest ideas, cutting-edge discussion topics, and captivating themes. Remember, WPRPN.com member site subdomain links are also always available. Great for artists, musicians, podcasters, bloggers, social media personalities, or pretty much just any old landlubber looking to boost their online visibility, presence, and reach. Basic personal profile accounts can be launched for just $60 per year. Staking your claim now helps not only strengthen you and the network, we're also looking out for the little guy. That's right, folks. As much as half of all WPRPN's profits are redirected right back into the hands of the people who really need it most. Community charity. After all, we are the Robin Hood. You can further embark on your own personal pirate journey by either liking, sharing, commenting on, subscribing to, or just following us via virtually any mainstream social media platform, including Twitter, Facebook, Gab, or Minds.com. So don't forget to become engaged. Until we meet again out on the high digital seas, I'm your host as always, the ship's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. Tally-ho.